All right. Well, I'm in my mom's family history den, her office. What do you call this room, Mom?
The tech room.
This is the tech room. Welcome to Mimi's tech room, and it's kind of fun. Yeah, so this is where she does thousands of names of family history, and she has her family on the walls. Kind of fun. There's the front window. More family pictures here on the walls. Kind of fun. But I asked her today to just tell me a little bit about just any memories, nothing really specific about raising four children. And so she made a few little notes. She's going to share some things, and I'll ask her a few questions. But let's see, today is January 16th, 15th, January 15th. It's Sunday. We went to church together. Mom taught her primary class. I went to Gospel Doctrine with Papa and Darren, and we're just up for the weekend to visit. So yeah, Mom, what are some few remembrances you have about raising four children?
Okay, it was so fun. I had always begged my mother to have another baby because I just had a big brother and it just never happened. So I was really excited when I got to get some babies because I didn't know how to, I hadn't really, I'd taken care of a few kids in the neighborhood, but I wanted to have people that were my own flesh and blood. And so um, we were
So
really
I'll
excited.
interrupt. Sorry. So what was it like to have Lance and bring him home when you finally had your first baby?
Well, I didn't get to take him home from the hospital the first day because he only weighed 5'8" when he was born, and he lost a little bit of weight, and so I actually went home without him.
Oh gosh, I
And
bet that was hard.
yeah, it seemed really strange, but I was really excited. I knew Daddy loved having a boy. He said he'd like either one, but a boy would be nice. You know how men are. And so I was really tickled that to have this little baby.
So
And
when did you bring Lance home?
uh, when did we bring him home? It was maybe only just a day or so
A few
after,
days.
and it was really funny because he started getting this rash on his body, and we didn't know what we were doing wrong. And so we took him to one of Daddy's dermatology classes at medical school, and they said, "You're just bathing him too much. Just bathe him twice a week instead of every day."
Oh,
And
cute.
so I thought that was really interesting. But it was really exciting each time we were able to have a baby, and it was fun having three boys in a row because you just sort of entertained each other, and you shared friends. If one took swimming, everybody took swimming, and it was fun. But
Unless you wouldn't put your head under the water.
anyway, I can remember when Lance was the coach of Darren and Landon's baseball game. I think somebody was in the sixth grade, but I think you were all involved with the
Yeah.
team. And he was the coach. We couldn't get any adults to coach you, and so he was the coach of your team. You guys loved to play baseball. It was one of the things that you really enjoyed. And Brad Allred um, was your coach for the church, and you did really well. You were in tournaments, and you never got to go to Salt Lake. I don't think they were going to Salt Lake for ball tournaments then, but it was so fun to go watch you play, your sports. And then I can remember I loved living on Victory Road because it was it was a couple of acres, so we had the chickens and the lambs
And the rabbits.
and the rabbits and the dogs and the cats, and it was just really fun. But I remember somebody caught a water snake one day, and we put him in our toy box.
With sand and stuff, but he escaped.
And we called him Harry because
Yep.
he didn't have any
He didn't have any
hair.
hair.
And we went out and we were so disappointed.
He
There
escaped.
was a crack.
Yeah.
It was probably not like that, but a snake can get through a
Yep.
little tiny crack.
He did. I remember that.
And the sheep, I can remember.
Wags wasn't very nice.
We had a ram that was really mean, and I remember Daddy said, "Well, Landon, when you go down to feed the rabbits, just hit the ram on the nose." But he was a big ram. He was as big as you. He was as tall as you.
Well, I remember I would feed the rabbits and the chickens and stuff, and I would be bending over like doing the water thing, and he'd run up and butt me in the rear and knock me over. And then I was scared because he was hitting me, and Dad came down and whacked him with a shovel in the head. And
yeah, anyway, the ram, that was.
remember when Lance and Darren used to run across the pasture and flip over that red fence, and then he would ram the fence? Yeah, I was so little, I was too scared to make the
Oh
run, but they
yeah.
would do it all the time.
Oh yeah. And then I can remember the rabbits, how cute the baby rabbits were.
So
They were
cute.
just so cute and
We get them
fluffy
out and
and
play on the
white.
lawn with them.
Yeah, but they were really nice. And then we had one set of rabbits that died. We don't know if the sprayer, the guy that sprayed for the
Mm.
weeds, happened to spray at the wrong time or what. But we sort of learned to take care of the animals and to know that they don't live forever. You know, I can remember once somebody shot a BB gun through a window, and that was interesting. We're sure that nobody pulled the trigger, but it happened. The window got a BB in it. At Landon, I can remember he would take his BB gun and he would ride his bike down and go hunting. I don't. You didn't ever get a bird, did you?
Oh, I shot a lot of birds.
Oh, okay. I hope they were in season. And I remember when Landon sold cherry tomatoes to the neighbors that were about a mile away. He went door to door selling cherry tomatoes.
Yep.
And
Not very lucrative.
and I can remember when we sold pumpkins. I remember selling one for 35 cents, and I thought, that's a lot of work for 35 cents. Oh, and then I think it was Landon that had Brother Nielsen for his scoutmaster, and I remember when you went out and did ice caves. You do these ice caves up in the mountains, and I can just remember it was so hard for me to let you guys go to do that because I just thought they could die in those caves.
You could. They're kind of scary. I only did it once, and it was
And that was enough.
very memorable.
Oh yeah, I thought.
Lance and Darren did it too.
Yeah, I know each of you did.
We never did it together. I did it with my scout troop, and they had already
done
moved
it.
on or something. I don't know.
But I just remember, I thought, well, I guess this helps you get ready to let them go on missions.
Yeah.
If you can let them sleep in the ice caves.
And I remember, what kind of things did Dana do? I remember she actually did like gymnastics and dance, and she did gymnastics at Little Scott, like it was a school sport.
Yes, and she got in ninth grade. She got the award
like,
for all around gymnast.
Yeah, which is amazing. They don't even do gymnastics in our schools now.
Yeah, yeah.
But she was really good at that. That was cool.
She was really good, and she was really good at dancing too.
Yeah.
She was a wonderful dancer.
That was fun.
And she loved her kittens.
Yeah, she did.
She loved the kittens. And I can remember that one time when you guys were selling lemonade when we were on Victory. You'd go down by the mailbox and sell lemonade.
The 50-mile-an-hour road. Have people pull over going 50 to buy lemonade.
Yeah, we didn't ever make very much money in our money projects like some kids do. I can remember you all were on a bowling league. You wanted to do ice skating or hockey or something.
It was on Sunday.
We checked into it, and it was on Sunday, and so
we did a bowling league.
We did bowling on Saturday.
Yeah, I remember that. That was fun. But we did it for a year or two.
Yeah, we wanted to keep the Sabbath day holy, you know. And as a mom, I wanted you to have lots of different experiences and different sports, and like Dana took a pottery class, and
I played soccer and baseball and tennis and basketball. Yeah, we did lots. And church sports were more popular back then. I mean, we did basketball and volleyball, and I remember we actually did in softball. We did at least 3.
Yeah. So the church played a really big part in our lives.
Yeah, for sure.
When Daddy knew you were going to go to camp, he would take at least 1 or 2 days off so he could go to camp with each. I think he went with everybody when they went to camp, at least for a day or 2.
I remember when I used to go to primary on Wednesdays after school, I'd walk up and, oh, you weren't the primary president anymore when I was doing that. When I was younger, you were the primary president, but we'd had primary during the week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, and you'd walk up to the Maple Grove building.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. And you had a friend that lived on the corner by the school.
Jerry Fisher.
Yeah, I couldn't remember his name when we drove by there the other day.
Yeah.
We had been to Reed's.
Jerry Fisher.
You had really good friends.
Yeah.
I'm so thankful that you had good friends. I mean, David Gibbs with Darren, and then Jared Dowell with Lance, and you had what was their name? The ones that lived on Victory. Their mother was Lorraine and Doug Jensen, Jared Jensen. Maybe that was Darren's friend.
Must be Darren, yeah.
Maybe it was Darren's friend.
It was fun to grow up there, though. I mean, with the little farm and all the animals and stuff.
Yeah.
We loved it.
Yeah, that was really neat.
I do remember when you and Dad bought the house on Marcliffe and we were moving. I was in 6th grade and Darren was 8th and Lance was a sophomore. Lance was bummed because he was going to Bora. He was going to go to Bora High School. And Darren and I didn't have as many friends and we were psyched.
Oh.
No, Darren had a lot of friends. And Lance and I were excited, so we went out on the trampoline and jumped really high, and we're like, we're moving.
I don't remember that.
And then my first day there, I met Chad Wilson, and he became one of my best friends.
Oh, yeah.
So that was fun.
And Darren met Milo Farron.
Milo. Gary Howe and Paul and Devon.
Yeah,
he had a good group.
He had some interesting friends. And I just remember as a mom, though, we tried to do scripture reading. We tried to keep the Sabbath day holy. We worked on Scouts a lot on Sabbath day because we could, the ones that were from the book, we'd go in the bedroom and lay on the bed and do citizenship of the nation and things like that.
I remember you used to read to me, even one-on-one when I was going to school, from the Book of Mormon picture books, those big hardback ones.
Yeah, we did that more. Yeah, we called it scripture reading, but it was
those are scriptures.
The Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
They had pictures too, and that made it nice.
Yeah, I like that.
And a lot of times, we had to eat dinner alone because Daddy was doing rounds and stuff at night. But I can remember the wonderful youth leaders you had there, Guy Bennett. Do you remember Guy Bennett?
Mm-hmm.
And he had the boys that were about the same age as all you guys. And the scouting played a big part.
Yeah, it was big. And we did family night on Sundays usually with the lesson and stuff.
Yeah, because Daddy would not get home.
Lance would come in his sleeping bag.
Yeah, Lance would be in the sleeping bag. Yeah, that was true. We tried to teach you to pay tithing and to keep the Sabbath day holy and the word of wisdom, take care of your bodies.
How did chores work? Do you remember chores?
I know I would fold your clothes and put them in your box, and then you'd have to go put them away.
Put our clothes. Yeah, you spoiled us. You'd wash and fold everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't want the washing machine going 12 hours a day. I thought,
Yeah, so we'd put our clothes away and we'd vacuum and weed and mow the lawn. Yeah. And we did dishes. We had dinner jobs.
Yeah. And I can remember you had mowed the lawn at Overland.
Yeah.
And
it was like an acre.
Yeah, it was with 2 lawnmowers. There was always 2 of you usually that went.
Yeah.
We went together. I can remember you, Dana, learning to ride her bicycle there. It seems like Lance would run behind her down the 50-mile-an-hour street the back of the bike, because we really didn't have a sidewalk. Shoveling sidewalks was no problem there on Victory.
Right, I remember you would put the bike in the car and take me down to the school or Mossy Cup Drive, those streets out in the industrial area with the blacktop, and you would hold on to the back and help me learn how to ride my bike until I figured it out when I was 8.
Yeah. Most kids ride their bikes at 5 and 6, but Edith, your grandmother said, don't let them ride till they're 8 because they'll be gone. They'll be on their bikes and gone.
Well, we also had gravel roads around our house.
Yeah.
And then a 50-mile-an-hour street was the first street, so
yeah,
it was fine to wait till we were 8.
And then when we were at Fort Ord for Christmas one year, we got you this go-kart.
Oh yeah.
That you had to put together, and Daddy helped you build it in the bedroom. And
I remember that.
Painted it blue, and we lived on a hill. Everybody else
go like 30 miles an hour.
Everybody else had Hot Wheels.
Right, the plastic ones.
And you had this wooden one that we really didn't use it very much, but we figured that would give Daddy a chance to make something with you,
I remember that.
We always had a pet, either a cat or a dog.
We had lots of pets. So what was it like when your children started growing up and going to college and leaving home and going on missions and stuff?
It was hard to see you go, but yeah, we had a friend in Denver who had a little boy that was brain damaged when he was born. His name was Andrew, and she said, I'll always have a baby, I'll always have Andrew. All he could do was lay on the floor, and she had to change his diaper and feed him. And I thought,
wow,
I don't want to always have a baby. I was so happy to see you learning and growing and developing. And I missed you when you were gone, but I was just happy for the opportunities that you had to grow up and
Yeah, everybody got to serve a mission and graduate from college and get married and have a family.
yeah, and have
Pretty
children.
fun.
I mean, it
Yeah.
isn't always 100% that 100% can have children.
Right, right.
So
So thanks, Mom, for sharing some ideas. Anything else you want to share?
no,
Then, so how many children, great grandchildren, and great great grandchildren do you have now?
I have 4 children. I have 25 grandchildren. I have. I'm by the end of May. I'll have 10 great grandsons and 5 great granddaughters.
15 great
And
grandchildren.
people are working on it.
That's exciting.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure there are going to be some more.
Well, thanks, Mom. We love you.
Okay.